Greetings. Once again, it's your boy, Cypher Da MC, the Muhammad Ali of MCs. Had to figure out where my camera was at. Hopefully everyone is having a blessed day today. You know what it is? We've been through another week. About to get through another week coming up. So hopefully this finds you in good spirits as we are on this journey to become the best version of ourselves. And I say we because I'm on this journey with you. DJ is on point. I tell you, I need to get right. If the DJ is on point, I need to get right.
Yep.
But hopefully everyone is having a good day so far. So we are just going to try to get through this day, try to get through this week. You have a purpose. You know that. I know that. So it's just a matter of making sure that we fulfill that purpose that we are here for. Thank you. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, The Real Cypher TV, thank you for dropping by. Drop my mic on the like button for you, boy. Hit that subscribe because you could have been anywhere in the world and you're here with me. I appreciate that. And of course, shout out to Jay-Z. We're going to get into our disclaimers, get those out the way. We're going to jump right into it. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist.
Nope.
I'm not a sex therapist. I'm not a family therapist or a relationship expert. I am just a regular guy without any masters or doctorates on his wall from Harvard. I am just a regular Joe Schmo. Just a regular dude, giving you the benefit of his experience. I'm an observer of people, of human nature. MJ. Giving you just a different perspective on this thing that is called life. Because we're all trying to make it work. We're all trying to maneuver through life and try to get to a quote-unquote happy place. So hopefully we're getting there one day at a time. You'll know when you get there. Trust me. Because I'm trying to get there myself.
Ooh.
But you've seen what today's topic is. As you know, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And please forgive me for not acknowledging it in earlier episodes. But there's always a time and place for everything. There's always a time and a fit. And today's episode, as you know, as you can see, it fits perfectly because it's coming right after Mother's Day. And as you know, I like to use myself as an example of anything that I've been through or dealt with. So I wanted to kind of acknowledge that it is mental health awareness. And as you know, I'm a big advocate of men's mental health for all of us. But of course, I'm a guy, and we're trying to get better. Hopefully, we're going to get to that place where we're getting better each and every day.
There's facts, man. And
valuing ourselves as men. So today's topic sounds like the beginning of Self-Destruction of the song. Today's topic: she say, he hears. She say, he hears. Now, as we all know, communication between men and women is not, what's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes it's not ideal. It's not where it needs to be. It's not one of those things that occurs when it needs to, how it needs to. There's going to be miscommunication. We're bound to have miscommunication and not be on the same plane with each other as men and women, especially, in relationships and, in any type of relationship, whether it's family, friend, work, dealing with your significant other, spouse, or what have you, especially when talking to each other. So let's understand a few things before we really delve into the topic. Men are logical and more analytical thinkers. We're more practical. We get straight to the point. Okay, the car is not the car is making a sound. We need to figure out what that sound is. Even those guys that are not mechanics, you know, those guys that, well, it could be this, it could be that, it could be 5 different things, depending on what part of the car is making, you know, the noise is coming from. Women are more intuitive and nurturing people. They're, you know, I'm sure, ladies, you've come across in those times where you're telling your significant other, your partner, about something that is happening to maybe a family member that is also a woman, or a female colleague. And you're telling him, oh, she was crying and this, that, and the third. And the guy's like, oh, why was she crying? You told him pretty much the whole story and why the woman became emotional, but it did not click for him that it was an emotional thing and what she was dealing with and this, that, and the third. Women are more intuitive in being able to recognize when something has an emotional connection to it. There lies a balance somewhat between men and women. It's kind of finding that right combination between man and woman that makes those relationships actually work and function. There's a level of respect and love and compassion and understanding that is there because they balance each other out. That's ultimately what we are looking for in life. We're looking for that right combination of he understands me, or she respects me and loves me and values me. That's it. It may seem easy. It may seem like it's nothing, it's not hard to find someone to respect you. Yeah, well, it depends on how they respect you or when they respect you. Are they consistent with their respect? It's like, oh, I'll respect you only when we're in private, but in public, I'm going to treat you any kind of way. That's one thing we have to understand. And ladies, this episode is for you. Yeah, I told if I didn't say it, the gloves came off a long time ago.
Oh shit!
I think the gloves came off during the when the DJ came on. I don't know. You didn't see that, right? You didn't see when the gloves came off. You know. Here's the thing, and I'm sure some of you ladies can attest to this. But let's give you some background. Let's give you some. Let's set the tone, so to speak. Let's set the tone. If there are like for instance, we just had Mother's Day, right? Mother's Day was about a week or so ago. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And there are certain times of the year, Mother's Day being one of them, that are specifically geared towards women. You know, anniversaries for the most part are not geared towards men. Let's be honest.
There's facts, man.
There's nothing that you've seen on TV that says, don't know what to get your man for his anniversary. You can get him blah, blah, blah. What? Wait, no. Not at all. Not at all. Mother's Day, geared for mothers, rightfully so. Without mothers, we wouldn't be here. I know I wouldn't. But then you have Valentine's Day, birthdays, things of that nature, right? So, of course, he's trying to figure out what to do to make it special for you. I mean, there's nothing more special about an occasion that you don't have to plan and do for yourself. Am I right? You don't have to sit there and tell someone, well, I want this, and this, and then they, quote unquote, surprise you with it. And you're like, oh, it's just what I wanted. It takes, for most men like myself, it takes the spontaneity out of it. SAT words, people. It takes the spontaneity out of it. So I would think that most men were like, okay, she's been saying that she wants this. Men, if you're listening, can say, okay, she wanted this for her birthday, or she wanted this. I think this would be nice for Mother's Day, or this would be nice for our anniversary, whatever the case may be. Here's the kicker. Especially if the man puts forth an effort and it's not appreciated. Now, I know, ladies, for the most part, you will say you appreciate it. You will say, oh, thank you. But a man can pick up on whether or not it is something that he he did good. You did wonderful. You did, right, knocked it out the park or whatever. By your reaction. If your reaction says something contrary to what, in his mind, should be, then he's not going to feel that you like what he did. Whether he got you flowers, he got you candy, maybe a little stuffed animal of some sort, of some jungle variety or whatever, or perhaps maybe it was something, he took you to a restaurant that you thought, well, this restaurant doesn't fit the occasion. Like, why would it not fit the occasion? Because in your mind, you were expecting something else. In his mind, he was like, I'm going to do this, and it's going to show my effort for her. Are you someone that is ready to strike out on their own and get their first apartment? You and your roommates are all ready and set to go to live the good life and pretty much get your life started? Or are you about to leave college and looking for a new place to live in the new city with your new degree? Well, guess what? There's a company called Credit Rent Boost that will allow you to get credit for the rent that you pay and get it reported to the credit bureaus. This will not only allow you to boost your credit, but also set you up long term so when you are ready to make your first purchase as a homeowner. So give them a try. CreditRentBoost.com, and you can use promotion code OVM24522. It may be the best decision you ever made. So let's now that you have the background, now that you set the tone, so let me give you some examples. Maybe this will paint a better picture for you. Ladies, I'm sure at some point in time you're trying to get things done. You may be the primary one that kind of gets organized, say, hey, this needs to be done, whatever. If you ever find yourself saying something to this effect, I can do it myself. Don't worry about it. I'll do it. He hears, I can't rely on you, or I don't need you. It may seem like, well, that's not what I said. It's not about what you said exactly. Men listen to how you say things, and then they interpret it in their mind. That's why they ask you, no, baby, I can do it. I can. But if you reiterate, no, I can do it. Never mind, I got it. That's what he hears. He feels at this point, man, she's, she feels that she can't rely on me. I had this going on. I had that going on. Ladies, if you say, well, that's not what I wanted, going back to the example of the restaurant and things of that, and that's not where you wanted to go, or let's say he gave you, a token of appreciation in his mind, some flowers, some candy, maybe a little stuffed animal, from, a favorite anime. I don't know.
What?
And you said, well, you get me this all the time, or that's not what I wanted. He hears, what you got me isn't good enough. Then he starts to think, am I good enough? Right? Like, if you actually say, well, you buy me this all the time, or you take me to the same places all the time, he hears your planning, investment is not good enough. You're not appreciated. Because in his mind, he's like, you're not appreciating the fact that I'm making the effort and putting forth the energy. Have you ever thought of possibly starting your own podcast? Well, I can tell you firsthand it can feel overwhelming if you don't know where to get started, and that's where Buzzsprout comes in. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch a professional podcast, already helping over 100,000 people launch their own podcasts. Buzzsprout will get your podcast into every major podcasting platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. You also will get a great-looking podcasting website and so much more. To start your own podcast and get a $20 Amazon gift card, follow the link in the show notes. This lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you and helps support our show. Buzzsprout, the easiest way to start a podcast. It's what he hears, ladies, what he hears. So you may see him a little bit dejected. You may see him withdraw from you a little bit. You may even see him just kind of, just kind of space himself. Be like, man, what do I have to do? He may start to, just think all sorts of things, like going through his mind. And if he's not a big communicator, that only compounds what he's feeling. If the relationship is not based around communication and it being consistent, then yeah, it can kind of snowball. It can have a snowball effect. Let me give you some tips, or maybe a tip here. But let me ask you a question. What do you think is the one of the more important basic needs of a man from a woman? And no, it's not sex.
What?
So let's get that off the board. One of the most basic needs of a man from a woman, his need for admiration and respect.
I've waited years to hear somebody say that.
Remember, we've spoken about this before. Men equate respect to love. If he feels respected, he will go past the stars and the moon. He will go to other galaxies, other dimensions, other multiverses, people. He'll meet you. He'll do anything in the Spider-Verse for you to make sure that it gets done, to make sure that, oh my gosh, my wife has to have this. Oh no, this is what she wants. She has to have this. He will negotiate with the mafia to make sure that you have, that he has the reservations at the villa that you want, that you were talking about the other night.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, he will do that. He will go undercover for the CIA and infiltrate any type of terrorist cell to get the information needed to make sure that the flower shop that you like the flowers so much from remains open. He will go above and beyond if he feels that he has the admiration and respect of not only the woman that he's with, his partner, but of those around him. I mean, he'll go above and beyond. There's a reason why, of course, he may be doing, you ever wonder why, if the next door neighbor or a friend, whether or not they're male or female or whatever, and he's like, I'm going to help so-and-so do this. I'm helping her move some boxes or whatever. Why? Because he was asked. He was admired for, it was believed that he could do it. So he was like, okay, cool. When we take things into our own hands, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we may be treading thin ice as far as, oh my gosh, let me make sure this is right. But when it's not appreciated, then it's like, I put forth all this effort and things of that nature. So if a woman understands his value and appreciates his value and his achievements and what he's accomplishing more than anything else, that's great. Again, he will go to the moon, the stars, other planets, he'll put the asteroid belt around his waist and wear it proudly. But let me ask you this, ladies. How can you appreciate the value and worth of the person that you're with if you cannot convey to him in a way how you're doing, your response to what he's doing, especially if it's, hey, he did it out of the kindness of his heart, or he did it because he loves me, but you don't convey it to him in a way that does not make him feel inadequate or worthless. You may just be reacting to the fact that, oh, I get, you always get me the same things. Oh, we always go to the same places. But you're not looking at the fact that he's wanting to spend time with you, regardless of where it's at. It's just someplace that he's familiar. Maybe it's a good memory that you had there, that he had there with you. Something to think about. And I want to leave you with this right here. How we talk to each other and how we speak to each other, it speaks volumes on the type of relationship that we have and the type of relationship that we want. So it's something to always be mindful of. And as always, thank you for joining me for the Into the Cypher podcast. And always, before you love anyone else, you must first love yourself. And I am out this thing. Cypher.